What is power manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagwan himself explaining what is power manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you, due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you, out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I have added the ultimate powerfulness, Turyatita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift. Playing with life. Playing with being alive.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained what is power manifestation, becoming alive, becoming Kalpataru of your life, and manifesting all your desire into reality. Science of power manifestation, it's a science because millions have experienced that, and each one of us can experience that. Beyond our logical mind, self-doubt, self-denial, self-hatred, there exists a space. Paramashiva is real. Consciousness is real. Just by listening to the pramanas, evidences, we can understand the greater science. It shifts us from what we understand as logical mind to the superconscious space. Paramashiva is real. Shastra Pramana, the scriptural references, the eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Vedas and the Agamas, the pure science, Vedas, and the applied science, Agamas. The scriptures are real. Apta Pramana, the experience and the results of Aptas. Aptas are the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nainamas, Alvars, Siddhas, Yoginis, Yogis, Bhairavas, Rudras, Rudrakanyas, Emperors, Grahasthas. All of them manifested all the powers of Paramashiva. Millions of them manifested all these powers, which is authentic, time-tested, scientific, and foolproof. Atma Pramana, account of His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatar's personal experience of power manifestation. Bhagavan plays the Leela to showcase to the world how the cognitive shift can make you a superconscious being on planet Earth. And beyond that, we can experience all the greater signs, auspiciousness, abundance, and simply all our desire becoming reality. Shakshi Pramana, the experience of the millions of disciple devotees, followers initiated by Bhagavan into the science of power manifestation. Bhagavan beautifully says, whoever comes to the Kailash courtyard is like a Garbha Mandir, and simply he is more present than all of us, waiting to manifest in us, each one of us, as our desire, reality. In the beautiful space of oneness, we can experience that reality. The consciousness is real, Paramashiva is real. Pratiksha Pramana, the scientific study measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state. Bhagavan Paramashiva has given in Avatar Shastra how all the disciple, devotees, followers all around the world who are manifesting the powers every single day, what happens to their brain. Simply the brain, the thoughtlessness happen in the brain, and the prefrontal cortex, the conscious center, simply becomes awakened, and you can manifest all your desire into reality, abundance, auspiciousness, bliss, healing, discovery, invention, and more can happen in your life as the reality. Let's go to the Shastra Pramana. The Shastra Pramana for the power of clairvoyance is taken from the Shiva Samhita 5.8384, Panchama Patala by Ishvara.
He has looked inward. Let's go to the Shastra Pramana.
This Shastra Pramana is taken from the Shiva Samhita 5.83. ज्ञानञ्च च प्रतिमं तस्य त्रिकालविषयं भवेत् दूरसृष्टि दूरदृष्टि स्वेच्छया कागतां व्रजेत् ज्ञानञ्च च प्रतिमं तस्य त्रिकालविषयं भवेत् दूरसृष्टि दूरदृष्टि स्वेच्छया कागतां व्रजेत्.
For the power of clairvoyance, from the Shiva Samhita 5.8384, Panchama Patla by Ishvara, Bhagavan Paramashiva says, he gets immeasurable experience knowledge, knows his past, present, future time, has the power of Dura Drishti and Dura Shishti. The power of clairvoyance. What is the power of clairvoyance? You can see something beyond what you have the perceptional sight, like what we call it 20-20 rule. Beyond that, if you measure your height and 7 times your height, you can measure at the distance. At that distance, if you are able to experience all the 5 senses, you can experience the greater reality. What are the 5 senses? 5 senses, if you get the input from the outer world, like for example, if you take an ice cream and you say, wow, the ice cream is so nice, you are getting input signal from the outer world that something is giving you a pleasure from outside. You are living in the materialistic world. But if you understand the ice cream itself exists in your perception and the taste itself exists in your perception, because you are consciousness. Consciousness is the very existence who you are. Without consciousness, our body is a dead body. So if you understand from the space of consciousness, Bhagavan says you are enlightened. All that we need to do is shift the direction what we are perceiving. As long as the 5 senses gives you the input to the body, then you are in the materialistic world, and that is prone to suffering and delusion. If you raise yourself to the consciousness who you are, and from the consciousness you say that you are experiencing this, you understand the greater science. For example, Lord Rama, started crying and rolling over on the ground for Sita when Sita left, and crying so loudly and so horribly. And Lakshmana says, why are you crying? I myself left my wife so long back and I come. And why are you crying? And after that, he just sat there in meditation and dissolved himself into the space. And why would Rama cry if he is an avatar? Would be the question. That is why if we understand the greater science, the consciousness, how perception works, he is not crying out of missing something or something removed from him, taken away, but he is expressing his expression just 100%. How do we understand that? If a child is crying, the child does not have any verbalization, visualization, powerless moment when it cries. That is why it is very authentic. When Durvasa Maharishi, he expresses anger, it is not out of some narration or some motive of victim or some motive of exploitation that he is angry. He is angry because he is angry. Just the pure expression of the whole science. And even the beautiful instant when Krishna paints the nail of the girl Radhe, who was actually just a milkmaid girl, and all the devas said, how could you do this? It is not something, a narration going on behind the mind like what we have, a verbalization or visualization, but a pure expression. When they express all these emotion in a pure form, it is not deluded how we experience. What we experience is from the materialistic world, and what we express is also in the obsessive compulsive reactionary space. As long as we are bound by this, where we are caught up with only the 4-5 things, we are dissolved in that. But if we drop that and understand, I am not going to go by any of my mind narrations, but I am going to be in the pure space of conscious sovereignty as my reality. From consciousness, whether I am drinking a water or I am making a financial decision, it is Paramashiva who is manifesting each moment auspiciousness through me. If I start living that space that I am Paramashiva, Simply abundance and auspiciousness floods in us as reality. All this greater science Bhagavan is giving us again and again to understand the greater possibility that we are quantum. We are not just the materialistic impossibility that we experience, but we are quantum and we live in the parallel universe and simply manifest any great reality. And beautifully, Bhagavan says how every word is a great science which breaks open to the new reality. Veda Vyasa compiled the greatest epic of the time, Mahabharata, and he needed somebody to write the whole epic. And Lord Ganesha himself came down to express the whole thing. So Ganesha told Veda Vyasa that he has to, whatever he has to continuously give, he should not have a stop. And Vedavyasa said to Ganesha, you should understand the context before writing the words. And simply when he was writing, suddenly his pen broke and he said he should not fail. Vedavyasa simply broke his tusk and continued the whole thing. It is to show that there is no incompletion here. When you are in the completion space, wisdom happens and you spontaneously happen as reality. Every word becomes reality. Such a beautiful thing narrated in Mahabharata chapter 2. Beautifully, Bhagwan explains how he had the mantra diksha from his guru and how immediately it became reality in him because the complete feeling connection and trust in him simply made him experience the higher reality, whether it came to a body or the mind. Bhagwan beautifully narrates in Atma
It's like
Pramana.
a joint family. You don't know who is who and what is what, and who is whose husband or whose daughter and all those things. It's a giant family. And I never used to know my relatives or family people and all those things. 11 people used to be always around me. So I thought something like just like a normal thing. Only after I met the Raghupati Yogi, the moment he initiated me, I'll describe later on how the initiation happened and all those things. The moment he initiated me, all the 11 have disappeared and I've never seen them again. When I asked Raghupati Yogi, he was shocked and he said, they must be Bhairavas. Bhairavas? Maybe they were protecting your body. And I neither understood nor appreciated his comment. I neither understood his comment nor appreciated what he meant. And I just left it. In my young age, I used to have a notebook in which I'll write all these stories which I hear from the saints or some instructions. This Raghupati Yogi is a person, very meticulous person. Whenever he teaches me something, he will force me to write down. Anyhow, fortunately, my mother preserved all those notebooks. We got the notebooks, now it is in the ashram. We should thank her for preserving all these beautiful relics. She has preserved the whole thing. Because after I left the house, the family went through a lot of change. Means the house shifting from place to place. Some 3-4 places they shifted the house. She did not protect the furnitures or all the other things which she had in the house. But she protected all these things very carefully. Actually, in the notebook, I have written in my own hand, maybe around the age of 10 or something, about this 11 Bhairavas also. Before eating, I used to do morning puja. In the puja time, I'll repeat this, all the God's names. In that, I used to repeat this 11 Bhairavas names. Because this Raghupati Yogi said, later on when I read Sharada Devi's life, I realized Sharada Devi was also protected by 8 Sakhis of Devi when she was a baby. When she was a baby, 8 Sakhis of Devi, 8 attendants of Devi used to be always with Sharada Devi. She says, only when I read that, I understood the comment of this Raghupati Yogi. Earlier, I was neither able to understand nor able to appreciate. Actually, I asked Raghupati Yogi, then why did they disappear now? He said, now they have handed over you to me because now I am taking care. There is no need for them to be here. That's the reason they are not around you. They are not here physically. This Raghupati Yogi is one of my great inspiration. I can say he's a first teacher. Even though he himself is not an enlightened person, He happened in my life for a purpose. I can say my whole physical strength I vow to him. My body is able to be alive and hold the enlightenment. See, enlightenment is like bringing some 3-4 elephants into this small hut. What will happen to this hut? Like that only enlightenment. But still my body is alive, active, and talking to you means that single soul, Raghupati Yogi, is responsible. I remember him really with great respect and gratitude, because at the age of 3, he chose me. I neither know about yoga, nothing. He chose me. Actually, he used to stay in the same street where my house was there, where I was born and brought up. In the same street, he used to stay. So he was a close friend of my father and grandmother and everybody, the whole family. He was born and brought up in Burma. In that time, Burma was not separate place. Burma was almost like India. And he stayed with the Tibetan Lamas also for quite a long time and learned this yoga and all those things with them. He himself is an adept, master in yoga.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained many things here. How the Bhairavas, 11 Bhairavas, was there around him till the age of 3 and protected Bhagavan, the avatar, happening on planet Earth, and how Sharada Devi had the 8 Sakis around her and she was being protected by the Sakis. All this great truth, how Bhagavan says, they are not conceived by a local how we understand, but the light just enters into the body of the womb of the mother and they are in a higher zone and higher space. Bhagavan says when he was born, he was literally like a 3-year-old baby, so huge. And they just happen on planet Earth in a different form, different ways, and different possibilities that they just come into our space to raise us into the higher reality. And beautifully, Bhagavan says, the book of hearts that he maintained, always when we are sharing with a world again and again, all this comes to us of a help when we are in the low moon. Here, beautifully, you can see the Balasans in Shakshi Pramana, that how she is manifesting the power of third eye reading from a distance.
Now you are. What am I doing next? Squatting?
Wow, this is really impressive. I'm just really, really blown away by this. So, can you see pretty much, that was pretty far away. That was, I would say, maybe 6-7 feet at times.
So beautiful, she's able to see something at a distance. The Balasans can see things up to 50 feet, 50, not just 15 feet, but 50 feet they can express and experience the greater science into reality. Here beautifully, all of us can experience all the 5 senses at a distance. Bhagavan says, our 5 senses are so powerful, like how you have the rain fall on the mud and we have the bacteria, the smell of that sand. We should be able to smell that even without all that. Then only our system is functioning without the toxin. And Bhagavan also said how enlightenment is like 10 elephants entering into a hut. Preparing your yogic body is so important. It aligns all the greater things into oneness, and in cosmic geometry, making your body prepare for the higher consciousness. It is like the lightning strikes in a space, it just burns away. But in proper capacitor, proper place, it goes and the energy can be retrieved. It's simply usable energy for a very long time. We are more powerful than the nuclear power, so simply we can manifest any reality. We get sucked into the time of different dimension when we raise our frequency. Like even when we go to sleep, we get sucked into a time where there is 0 time because we don't have a clock in the deep sleep. Only when we wake up, we know how long we slept. So all that we understand how we exist. If we understand the greater reality, the mature space, we don't have to struggle in the outer world to create our desire into reality. From the conscious space, whatever you want becomes reality. from the materialistic world, whatever we want doesn't become reality, rather becomes more chaotic and more problematic. Now we can experience the power of third eye reading at a distance. You can have a partner and you can ask them to hold a book. If it is living enlightened book, that is wonderful, and you can read from here. If you cover your eyes, it is much better, because if you close this part completely, you can see through your third eye. That is why if you wear an eye band, that will be really nice. That how you go into a theta, you want it completely dark to make it more clear. This third eye prefrontal cortex becomes very clear, and simply the vision starts happening in there, and you start seeing it as a physical letters and numbers and words. When you cover your eyes completely and you are able to focus on your third eye. If you do the Trineta Kumbhaka, it detox your third eye. Trineta Kumbhaka is when you inhale through the left nostril first and hold, and inhale through the right nostril without exhaling, hold as long as you can, and inhale through both the nostrils and hold without exhaling, and hold as long as you can, and slowly, very slowly exhale through the left nostril. When you start the second cycle, again do not take your right hand off, continue with inhaling through the left nostril again. Make this cycle at least 11 times in the morning, 11 times in the evening. Or if you can do more, you can go up to 21 times, 42 times, 108 times. And completely holding the Kundalini energy starts by holding the air, that you prana in your nose. It completely detox your third eye. The Kundalini energy raised to your third eye. Now scientifically they have proven what happens when you do the kumbhakas, the pranayamas, and how it detox the third eye, the prefrontal cortex, and how you manifest powers. Scientifically now they have documented, and science is catching up with all this, and you can experience this as reality when you do the Trineta Kumbhaka, and then you start the power manifestation. Now let's sit straight with the head, neck and spine in a straight line. Bring the listening to your third eye. Listening is the key to manifesting powers. More and more we are closest to the listening, we are manifesting all our reality, because thoughts cannot appear when we are in deep listening to Paramashiva as reality. Absolute unclutching from everything that you know as the inputs from the outer world. Any narration of the mind, any signals, just drop everything. Tell very clearly, I am with Paramashiva, and hold that space. Paramashiva is more real and more constant than anything that you experience in the outer world. Outer world is same thing, made of the same material that you are made in the dream. Bhagavan clearly says all that material in the outer world is nothing but how you experience the dream. The same material is what you experience right now also. So for few minutes, including your body, including your mind, unclutch from everything. That is Sarva Parityagi. Letting go every thought just to experience Paramashiva is real. And Paramashiva is the only thing, my first priority, my only priority. And I surrender to Paramashiva in deep oneness, just in gratitude. And that is the only thing that I need in my life. If you hold that powerful space, simply you open up to the unlimited experience of Paramashiva as your reality. Intensely chant the Mahavakya. Mahavakya, every word Bhagavan initiated us into. It takes us to a new time zones, and that's what Bhagavan says. Parallel universe synergy trigger happens. Every word Bhagavan says is a mantra, and especially Bhagavan initiates. Simply when you are in listening, it becomes your reality. All that Guru does is show you the higher reality, who you are. Again and again, just dissolving in that word, dissolving in him is all that we need to do, and trust that Paramashiva is real and consciousness is real. Simply you will see your abundance happening like superb. All that you want in the Kalpataru becoming reality. Now let's hold the space. Paramashiva is real, consciousness real. Sit with 25 heads and 75 eyes and 50 hands. So alive, not visualize. You are Paramashiva. You are Parashakti. You are the Venkatesha, whichever the Ishtadevata. Sit very powerfully and experience the oneness with Paramashiva by chanting the Mahavakya intensely. continuously listening to the chanting that you are chanting. When you do the ajaba ajaba, simply you will see the inside the voice starts happening again and again. It purifies all your incompletion. All the words that are uttered in the inner chatter is because of the past, whatever you went through. Again and again chanting as ajaba ajaba. Ajaba ajaba means you don't even use your tongue. Only the inner voice you listen to. But you can chant with your mouth open, like loud also, that is fine. But we are saying when you do ajapa japa, it becomes very powerful space. You listening to ajapa japa and continuously holding the space, Paramashiva is real, and surrendering yourself at Bhagwan's lotus feet. Disappear into him, dissolve into him again and again, melt in your heart. Bhagavan says melting in God is Paramashiva. Continuously dissolve ourselves into Paramashiva's lotus feet. You will raise as Paramashiva, fulfilling everything, all your desire into reality. Now let's start chanting the Mahavakya for the power of clairvoyance, reading something at a distance, reading words at a distance. Let's start chanting with a deep listening and deep surrender.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashivam overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let
So beautiful. Whatever you have experienced and whatever Paramashiva showed you, authentically verify with your partner, or if you have some book at a distance, please open it and verify whatever Paramashiva is showing you is exactly matching with the book. We are doing the power of third eye reading at a distance. So whatever you see at a distance, the words that are appearing and the pages that you have chosen just verify the detail, and we'll have a second cycle where you can manifest the power of clairvoyance. Anything that you can experience through the senses, 7 times your distance, your height of your distance, you can experience the quantum space, and simply you can experience the taste or the smell or the touch or the third eye reading from a distance. You can experience that as your reality. That is what Bhagavan says, parallel universe, synergy trigger. I will suck you into the time zone when you drop all your identities. The identities that we are holding, when we drop that, Bhagavan can simply absorb us into conscious space, a next dimension, next reality. We are more and more expanding in universe, and each one of us can experience the higher reality, the quantum space, the energy, the synergy trigger can happen in each one of us when you are ready to surrender all your identities at Bhagavan's lotus feet. It is like how the child is playing with the clay dough. We don't understand much, but when we are matured, we know that we can fix it by ourselves. The same thing Bhagavan says, we're all made of gold particles, and simply we can fix anything in the world as we desire, and simply understand that consciousness is the very way why we are experiencing the desire, the reality, the ultimate space also. When you have the matured cognition, you expand into the next dimension, that you get sucked into that parallel universe and different time zones where you can experience the higher reality. The past, present, future simply merges into one, where we understand that time is not, we are not bound by the time, but we are merging in the space, and we can manifest as any reality that we want as our reality. Now we will have one more cycle of third eye reading at a distance. So you can ask your partner to open a page and in any book, or if it is a magazine or living enlightened book, that is wonderful. Whatever Paramashiva shows, write it down, and at the end of the session you can verify the details. Now let's again hold the space of oneness with Paramashiva, Shaktipada, Shaktinipada. Bhagavan has beautifully given us the powerful cognition, initiation, darshan. So all we need to do is surrender and trust Paramashiva is real, that he will show me everything when I simply surrender, humbly ask without my identity. When I hold that space, simply he will flow through me as consciousness, as reality. So let's start chanting the Mahavakya intensely from our navel center with a deep listening and deep gratitude and deep love for Paramashiva, that experiencing the ultimate. Bhagavan says, Brahmanya Bahuputratam. You are the favorite inheritance of cosmos. It is like Kalpataru is like he is giving $1 trillion and asking you to spend. You have everything that you want, you can spend. Simply, that is what happens when you understand you are the inheritance of the cosmos. If you're here in this session, be very clear, you are the blessed ones. Bhagavan says, do Anga Pradakshina for yourself and simply thank yourself that you are here. Let's have the second cycle, manifesting power of clairvoyance. Deeply connect to Paramashiva and start chanting the Mahavakya intensely with a deep listening.
Paramashiva, overflow, manifest the powers in all our third activities. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Beautiful. Whatever you are experiencing, please go ahead and share in tinyurl.com/power manifestation. Power manifestation, enriching and causing is part of power manifestation. It's like you have all the things ready for cooking. You need the very gas to cook. Same way, the enriching and causing is the most fuel for you manifesting. Bhagavan says extreme manifestation is extreme causing, and extreme causing is extreme power manifestation. If you want more power manifestation to happen, clearly the science is given as how you can start extreme causing. What happens, like for example, if every day I keep writing, Bhagavan said how he himself wrote Book of Hearts, and every time he narrated his powerful space, and when there is a low and something down, you can go back and read it. When you see the post in tinyurl.com/power manifestation, if you go to Kailash Kotiyat manifesting power page, you can see so many powerful space. Whenever you go down, you can read that and you will simply again come up as how you are. The Paramashiva space that's happening. Bhagavan beautifully says, only when we are having, when the hat fits, the head is forgotten. When the shoe fits, the leg is forgotten. When the word actually fits in your life, you have no incompletion after that. If you remember something, that means you have something in completion with that, and you see it in the outer world again and again occurring it. That is why enriching and causing simply removes that, and you be in the space of oneness with Paramashiva, continuously manifesting all your desires in your life, becoming the Kalpataru of your life. That is why enriching and causing is a powerful space. Bhagavan says he himself will manifest through you as reality. And if you see the $sign at the end of the YouTube chat, you can contribute to Kailasa for Bhagavan's blessing, initiation, darshan, and making you manifest all these greater signs into your reality. And whatever you want to contribute to Kailasa, you only build Kailasa in your inner space. Go ahead, whatever you want, you can offer at your Guru's lotus feet. With that, let's surrender all this powerful cognition, power manifestation, and Bhagwan's lotus feet in deep gratitude, thanking Bhagwan for all that showering that he's doing every single day on each of us. And thanking all of you in all the social media for following simple integrity, simple obedience, manifesting powers of Paramashiva every single day. It's part of the Jnanapada, Satsang, Darshan, and Power manifestation. Following every day's integrity simply will raise you into the powerful space of Paramashiva. With that, with the deep earning, Paramashiva is real in my thought, word, and action, and seeing everything, everybody as Paramashiva as my reality, holding that powerful cognition, and ending the session with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you so much. The next session will be after the darshan or satsang, and you can log in through eKailasha for next session after the darshan or satsang. Till then, thank you, Nithyanandam.